What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to your channel. Dude, Roster Mania has me doing this intro like 4 times a day at this point. Guys, FaZe is making changes. Dude, Draza has the whole league in shambles. I don't know. That's the only explanation. I don't know. Well, guys, Arcitys has tweeted that he is a restricted free agent, he thinks. But I know Alex, so I tend to think that he's being serious. I don't think this one's bait. I think the modern day CDL Dynasty phase has officially broken up, and I have a lot of possible things to go through for this video because this changes everything from 12 hours ago when everything changed. So we're going to start at the most obvious conclusion that everyone has drawn, and that is Dashy replacing Alec on FaZe, meaning that it would just be Dashy, Celium, Simp, and a Beezy. I do think that there are a couple of different options here for this team. Obviously, the Dashy one is the most enticing for everyone. That just sounds like literally the Golden State Warriors, KD, fucking, you know, you guys can see where I'm going with that. But I really don't think it's as cut and dry. Again, I could be wrong, but I think that Brandon joining FaZe again sounds the best. But if we think about it for a second, Ender could also be a phenomenal fit for this team. Great friends with Cell. They came up together in the S&D scene. I think Ender is a phenomenal S&D player and leader, which they're losing with Alec. So you have to keep that in mind because if they pick up Brandon, it is pure slaying ability. They're going to win every single series just by killing the other team, right? Now, FaZe in the past has actually had to rely on kills to win. I think Alec, over the years of this team being together, has kind of expressed that they have struggles like playing the game. They're traditionally like breaking most hard points as opposed to holding and rotating with some more fundamentals. So I think when you're getting rid of a player like Alec, he's much more methodical, much more of an IGL kind of role, and you replace him with Brandon, you are depending strictly on kills. So I think that's why the angle, again, sounds amazing for fans. It sounds lit. But I think you have to take a step back for a second, and I think Ender could be a possibility here. So we're gonna stick on FaZe, and then I'll talk about where I think the rest of the pieces are going to go here. But I do think Ender would be a phenomenal fit here. Cell could stay on the main AR. He was running it for the majority of the Vanguard season, and I think that is a very logical conclusion. You're replacing an Alec type of player with Ender. I think it's a logical one-for-one here. It makes sense to me. I think it makes sense to most people, I think, if you think about it. But the brand is, it just sounds so cool if it's Dashy. It just sounds so cool. So talking about where I think Alec could end up, now this is where things can also get interesting because you just think Optic, right? That's just like the #1 thing that pops in everyone's head. Alec back to Optic. You have Hydra, which I don't think is going to change. I think Hydra is probably cemented on the roster. That's a player barring like Simp. I don't think that there's like a player that you could really replace Paco for at this point on that roster. So I think Alec to Optic could be really fucking crazy. Seth could still run flex as he wants to on the projected team. Alec could just run main and things would be good. I think that's a good, again, one-for-one kind of trade. You lose some slaying ability, obviously, when you transition from Dashy to Arcitys, but I like the roster. I'm not going to lie. Another possibility for Alec that I was thinking is Seattle. Hear me out. Alec is from Seattle. That's more important than people think. So I mentioned it in my video yesterday that Brandon to Seattle wouldn't really make much sense. I don't think there would be much cohesion on the map. It would be kind of like how it phases with the projected Brandon move. Just running around getting as many kills as you possibly can, and you kind of lose that leadership role, that S&D that you have with Lamar. But if you replace Lamar with Alec, I think that team is crazy good. I think Alec would be insane not to at least consider the option. I'm sure that he's already thinking about it. I don't need to tell him. But I think that team could be fucking crazy good. I don't know if Seattle's going to stick or not. I think most teams are probably thinking about changes just because there's their literal S-tier players, like dynasty caliber players that are being moved right now. So I think every team is definitely reevaluating their situation. I might be out of a job here soon. Who knows? So I think Alec to Seattle could be really cool. I think that roster would fit incredibly well. He brings the leadership that Lamar has. He brings the S&D that Lamar has. And I think he just bumps their respawn up just a tad bit, in my opinion anyway. And then the other option would be Cammy to FaZe, which means Brandon misses out on FaZe and Optic. I don't think this is really in the realm of possibility because if Alec ends up going to Optic, then that means that Cammy is going to be out of a team. And at that point, things can get a little weird. Like, does he end up on Seattle? I think Cam could potentially get left out to dry here, depending on how the rest of the roster moves shake out. I hope not. I think Cam is an S tier player. I think he had a down Vanguard season, but I think Modern Warfare and Cold War, he was a phenomenal player. So I hope Cam doesn't get left in the dust here. I hope he ends up on a really good roster. You know, he and I have gotten along pretty well throughout the CDL era, so I'm hoping for him. But these moves are insane, guys. Like I'm making daily videos. I'm literally seeing tweets. I'm opening OBS and I'm making a video. Like, it is ridiculous, the caliber of moves that are being made right now. And this was something that, again, I mentioned on stream and I got cooked last offseason for it. But when you don't spoil things, it makes the news, like, it just makes it so much better. It makes the experience of Roster Mania so much better. Like when people are just literally dropping like free agent on the timeline, as opposed to like knowing it's coming, the team's doing an announcement, there's a video, like when just Dashy free agent, Alec free agent, just everything explodes and people are scrambling to make content. Zuma's turning on the stream. TacRap's got 6 videos going up. It's like the experience of a non-spoiled Roster Mania is just unparalleled when you're not involved. It's lit. Another angle that I could see for Optic is just taking Cammy and Alec here and then just keeping Paco wherever. That means he's a free agent, whatever Paco wants to do. And you just have Seth and Shots. You run it back as a sub duo. You have Cammy or Alec on your flex and main. That team is insane. The fundamentals are there. The slaying potential is there. That is a really fucking good team. It seems like when you look at the rosters from last year as compared to the potential of this year, people are going to say it might be a downgrade or something like that. But I really think that an Alec and Cammy team with Seth and Shotzi could be really good as well. I have to compete against these guys. Like, I have to beat these guys to win tournaments, and I'm like actually excited about these moves because the teams are going to be insane. Like, when they're the caliber of players that are being moved around the league right now, there's no way that the teams that are formed aren't nuts. So I can't wait. I think, again, Modern Warfare 2 is going to have the best like storylines of all time. The dynasty is broken up in FaZe, or the modern day dynasty, I should say. Like the Alec potentially back to Optic when he, the Huntsman, whatever. Dude, oh my God. So a couple things to consider, very, very tiny. Like I said, Alec is from Seattle. That could be an angle there. Simp actually did say if he could team with one player in a CDL interview, he said it could be Brandon.
Who's the player that you wish could play with but haven't? I don't really know if I have anyone that I haven't played with, because the friends that I did have that are on my team, I've already kind of teamed with, like Major Maniac. But if I had to pick someone, I mean, I don't even know, like Dashy maybe, or I actually have no clue.
Food for thought. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, I know everyone is going to immediately jump to the KD to the Warriors, Dashy to FaZe kind of thing. I don't know if, like, on paper, it sounds incredible. It sounds like every kill in the game. It sounds like just the best roster that will ever be formed ever. But I think that Call of Duty is a lot more than just the names on the team. And I think that that could clash. I think that that roster, don't get me wrong, that roster has the potential to literally be the greatest roster of all time in terms of just pure slaying, pure talent, just end all be all. But I think that I could see some problems with the team. You are giving up a lot in Alec, and I think that fans really value numbers as opposed to, I'm going to use intangibles, and you guys can cringe if you want, but the way that teams work is not kills. It's about teamwork. And I don't know if getting rid of Alec is the right move. I think obviously the players know better than I do. I'm not on the fucking team. So if they believe it's the right move, then maybe it might be. I'm talking out of my ass, but I'm a big Arcitys fan, so I'm gonna preach on his behalf. I think the Optic moves are gonna be insane. Is it Alec and Cammy? Is it Alec and Hydra? I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm here for it though. Roster Mania is full swing. It's full swing. It's everywhere. It's taken over my entire life. So thank you guys for watching. Leave your opinion on the potential rosters down below in the comments. Again, as news drops, which I'm sure every day there's going to be something. Sim's going to be a free agent tomorrow. I'm going to get dropped. I don't fucking know. Appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know again down in the comments what you guys are thinking, and have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you in 12 hours.